Moving on to the topic, we're going to see the flashback and the overview of how British East India Company established their trade and became powerful in India. I repeat, this is just an overview. Okay? Individual businessmen or entrepreneurs joined together, had their own deals and formed the British East India Company. This happened during the year 1600. After forming the company, these British East India Company traders wanted to trade in India. So, during December, they asked for the Queen's permission. The Queen Elizabeth granted to trade with India only after the traders accepted the deal. The deal was to give share in their company's profit. Thus, the Queen Elizabeth granted permission for the traders to trade in India. What was the strategy used by the traders? First, the traders asked for the local ruler's permission. If the permission was granted, the traders started their trading. If the permission was not granted, these traders approached another king or ruler. So, after starting the trading activities, small shops were set up to sell the foreign products. Thus, the sales of the foreign products increased while the sales of the Indian products got decreased. This affected the local Indian traders, whereas the foreign traders of the British East India Company got lots of profit. With their profit, they started to establish factories, and also they gave the share of the profit to Queen Elizabeth as promised. When the trade in India got increased, groups of factories became settlements. So when we say settlements here, people started to settle in India itself as traders with their families. The settlements developed into presidencies. Presidencies means a mini administration. Okay, the British traders started administrating within their settlement zone in the name of presidencies. Okay, the presidencies had a governor for administrative decisions to be taken, as well as the officials guided the governor whenever needed. So this was the overall strategy used by the British East India Company traders. The British East India Company traders landed India by 1606. During the year 1607, Captain William Hawkins landed at Surat. He headed towards Agra to analyze regarding the trading privileges. That is, to analyze whether their trade will be successful here or not, whether they will be getting the expected profit or not. By the year 1612, Jahangir, the Mughal emperor, granted permission to trade in India. So Jahangir granted permission for the British East India Company to trade in India. Slowly, the British East India Company traders started to sell their products in Indian markets. They got good profit, and they also started to establish factory. They means British East India Company traders established a factory. By the year 1616, Jahangir, the Mughal emperor, granted permission for increasing their trade. That is, Emperor Jahangir had given permission for the British East India Company to set up factories anywhere in the Mughal Empire regions or kingdoms. This permission was granted to the British East India Company, which was under the control of Sir Thomas Roe during the year 1616. Thus, the trade got increased, their power got increased. These traders started to develop their places. Since they developed the places, Slowly, the traders started to occupy lands. Whenever they started to occupy the lands, they were becoming dominant in those lands. When they become more dominant in those lands, they started to collect tax. I mean, they as British East India Company traders. So by the year 1709, the British East India Company traders were very much successful that they had presidencies in Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. Moving on to the topic, the European traders used their own strategies and established their own power colonies in India. As we already saw in the previous video, the Portuguese occupied the Daman, Diu and Goa for their trade. The Dutch company occupied Masulipatam, Surat and Cochin. The French company occupied Surat and Malabar coast. So, what happened to the Portuguese traders? When the Portugal was conquered by the Spain, the Portugal traders in India got very much disturbed. They were not able to continue their trade in India peacefully because of lots of disturbances, both direct and indirect disturbances. Thus, they decided to quit their trading activities in India and the Portugal traders went back to their own place. What happened with the Dutch company? The Dutch company also were afraid of the British East India Company because the British East India Company had good financial support as well as manpower. So the Dutch also found it very risky if they continue trade in India. So they also decided to give up the trading activity in India. Thus, among the four places, the Dutch and the Portugal gave up their idea of trading furthermore in India and they went off to their own places. Now, it is in the hands of British and the French. Both British and the French were very much daring against each other and they were very much cunning to conquer the trade in India. So, it is only the British versus the French hereafter in the upcoming topics.